Hello everybody and welcome once again to Top Hat Chat live with me, Street and Orb. Today on the channel it is episode 31 of the Great Gaming Debate. That is now one for every day of the longest month of the year. And we are doing part 2 of games that everybody loved but we hate. So we've got a handful more games that we would like to discuss that are generally viewed as very popular games. That both of us, or at least one of us, intensely dislike. And throughout the stream, we are going to be having a look at the chat, more so than usual, to see what your thoughts are and whether there's any games that you hate that everybody likes.
Yeah.
We'll probably discuss some of those.
Yeah, because I can't wait to hear which ones that you hate that everyone loves, and then I can't wait to also tell you how you're wrong.
Yes, that would be fun. Before we start, I'd like to say thank you to our patrons over on Patreon. We have Seabass the Great, Andy Aldrich, Vladis, Mark Bell, Tom Elliott and Vamtonius. Thank you to all of you. Your patronage is greatly appreciated. I suppose we better start off with an actual game to talk about.
Which one should we go for?
I'll let you go first. You think of one.
I'm going to go for one that I don't totally hate, but I don't like it as much as everyone else seems to like it.
Okay.
And that's the Saints Row series.
Oh, Saints Row's great.
Is it though?
Yes.
Like, the humour, I agree, is on the whole actually very funny. Like, however, the voice acting for the player character is terrible. Like, all of the voices. The London one talks like that. He's one of them, you know, when they put on that London accent when the Americans doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though Tom Hardy's English.
Yeah, he just does it really poorly.
It's just horrendous.
How do you do your own accent that poorly?
I don't know, because he does it pretty well in everything else, but apparently sometimes he'll do that, and it's not really an accent, is it? It's more like...
It's more of a speech impediment.
Yeah, it's like you had a stroke. But I just don't like... It's not a very good game. Like, the gameplay itself is like... It's got that weird, cheap feel to it where the animations are really like quick, and so when you're running, for example, this is a really good way. I always think of like when a game's probably programmed for running, and which that game ostensibly is like you say you're going to go down the road and you're running down the road and then you have to take a sharp turn and you press left and your guy instantly just goes boop, Pac-Man's it. And it's like, people don't just Pac-Man it. Like, there's like a lean and there's a whole thing going on. Like, the other games get in. To be fair, GTA 5 kind of goes a bit too far in the other direction.
I was about to say, the controls for the running are a bit boaty.
Yeah, they are a bit boaty.
They slide
But
slightly.
I prefer it. So I prefer it to that. And, like, the missions just get a bit repetitive, and I know a lot of other games suffer with that as well.
Yeah.
But the humour doesn't quite do enough for me to look over the quite shoddy gameplay at points.
Yeah. So we have Leader X in the chat that says Saints Row is too cheesy.
No, right. I kind of get what you mean, but it took up the mantle where GTA, certainly when 4 come out, that they abandoned until they brought out the Ballad of Gay Tony, and that's GTA is meant to be cheesy and over the top, and GTA 4 just wasn't. It's so grounded in realism that it kind of bored a lot of people, and they missed that. So they found that gap in the market, and I applaud them for that. But like the last one, it's the last one, like 4. I think I played a bit of 4, Saints Row 4, and it's just a DLC they've stretched into a whole game.
Yeah,
it's like everything is exactly the same from Saints Row 3. It's just they're like, or is it 5? It's one of the two. This is how much I just hate. I didn't like it. They kind of blocked it all from my memory, other than the fact this is exactly the same as the last one, but with aliens.
I only remember that I played them.
Yeah, that's it. But so yeah, it's not something that I'm overly into. The music wasn't as good. It just, for the game that it's trying to compete with, which is Grand Theft Auto, which is kind of a silly endeavour anyway, it just doesn't do a good enough job. And loads of people lose their shit over it. They love it. They absolutely adore it.
Yeah. Mad Science Jr. would like to point out Saints Row 2 was perfectly sensible at some points.
Yeah.
Genuinely the saddest game I've ever played. And it also has missions where you spray raw sewage at people.
It does. I remember those ones. 2 is like the best one. if I recall correctly. Because,
It's got a good balance.
Yeah, it's like the best one, and they just kind of ramp it up for the next couple of entries.
Yeah, I can see that.
Borders on ridiculous.
Okay, can I do one of mine?
Well, if you have to.
Or have you got more to say?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, so, a game that is universally loved, but I really hate. And I'm hoping this does get a bit of heat. I'm hoping. Metroid games. All of them.
Oh.
Including Prime.
Oh.
Every single Metroid game ever made, I dislike. And I dislike greatly. There are many reasons why I dislike the Metroid games. I'm going to start with the general mechanics of all Metroid games. And that is the fact they've spawned their own genre.
Metroidvanias.
Yeah, that combined with Castlevania. The whole idea of using single areas multiple times sounds great. You think, well, it's brilliant. And we can go backwards and forwards and try and find new ways out of the same areas until you realise that you're spending all of your time in the same areas. And they look the same every single time. And they're confusing as hell because the whole idea of going from point A to point B to try and complete something, it's not an endless search of every room you've been in previously to try and find something that you couldn't have done before that you can now do because you found a single power-up. That's ridiculous. It's genuinely ridiculous. You seem to be able to revisit the same areas and still miss the things. Like, say the rooms are in linear fashion, okay? And you work from here, and you get to here, and then you've got to go back to find something, because you can't progress any further than here, right? You might miss the thing that you needed to get, which was here. And end up here.
Yes.
And then the only thing you can do is go all the way back to here to try and find that one bit that you missed. It's stupid. It's boring. It's just absolutely infuriating. And that's why Metroid games are shit. All of them.
How long have you wanted to get that one out?
I really fucking mean it.
Yeah.
I really mean it. The restart point says Metroidvania is a BS term. Loads of other games had the mechanic before Castlevania nicked it. Yeah, they did, but I hate them. I genuinely get upset at the thought of playing a Metroid game. The one thing I did like, Metroid Prime came along. And I played it a little bit and had exactly the same problems. But it did look pretty.
It did look very nice at the time.
So one of my friends played it, and I sat and watched him play it. And I quite enjoyed it that way.
There's a lot of games that are like that, though, aren't there, really? That you would rather watch someone else play.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's funny. If I think back, I have very little experience with Metroids.
Good. You've
Very
saved yourself
little.
a lot of frustrating, boring time.
Obviously, I played Super Metroid a bit, and never finished it. Never even got close, I don't think, because something didn't click. And I didn't play Metroid Prime when that came out on the Wii either. I wasn't really... GameCube, sorry.
When you get home, right, how excited are you to see your hallway?
Depends, but yeah, I get you. I take...
No, seriously, how excited are you to see the hallway as you walk in?
Not really.
And why do you think that is?
Because I've seen it.
Because you've seen it 1,000 times. You've seen it 1,000 times.
What?
How excited would you be if you got home tonight and there was a conservatory on the back of your house that you didn't have previously?
Yeah,
a new room would be great.
But
you don't get enough.
But if you're talking about it in Metroid style, surely I would get to where the conservatory would be. There'd be a door and I can't see beyond it, and I'd be like, oh, what's behind that door that's in my house? And then I go, oh, I walked past a bomb on the way here. I'm going to go back, pick that bomb power up.
It's slightly too high for me to reach. So now I'm going to go into every single room of my house that I've already been into 6 times to try and find a ladder that I don't know where it is. Like, how fun is finding the ladder? It's not. It's not fun. And that's why I hate all Metroid games, every last one of them.
I'm just going to quickly throw this in. The Top Hat Gaming Man is here and says Metroid is so shit.
Yes.
Only one of those series only Yanks like Contra. I like Contra.
I'm really glad that I'm playing the part of the heel so well.
You are doing pretty well if it's made him appear.
Yeah.
Just to quickly keep on that though.
Okay.
You obviously would lump in maybe Castlevania with this. How did you feel about when in Symphony of the Night, where you got to the end and then the castle flipped upside down and you went back through it?
That's completely different. That's essentially a different level. Did
you like that then?
Again, if I went into my house and all of a sudden it was upside down, I'd be excited at the fact that it was different.
I was going to say, because they're literally that's what you're talking about. They're literally all the same rooms. It's just it's now upside down.
Yeah, but that's a big difference. Not the same room with a little hole that I didn't see 6 times.
You'd say Castlevania's better than Metroid?
In that one example that you managed to give me, yes.
Right, and that's your whole opinion.
Also, I would say Castlevania I didn't mention over Metroid because the platforming in Castlevania is good.
Yeah, the platforming is good. I will give you that.
So that's why I didn't say Castlevania.
Whilst you've ruffled some feathers and got the adoration of the Top Hat Gaming Man,
I think that there's one.
I'm going to go for one that everyone agrees on, should agree on, that it's a terrible game that loads of people love, and that is Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X is the start of the corridorification of the Final Fantasy games that it endured for like a while.
I'm not happy.
You're not happy because you know it's true. The voice acting, despite possessing some really good voice actors, is
supposed to be
terrible. No, they phoned it in because they were like, this script is whack. I'm not doing this script. It's terrible. The premise is ridiculous and just not enjoyable. I like Tidus is not nice. Tidus, however you want to say it. He's not an enjoyable, playable character. He's certainly no Cloud or Zidane, but he is terrible. Blitzball is a whack minigame that no one enjoys playing. It's terrible. We're the Zadakan AIDS. We like playing Blitzball. Oh, look at us. Look at our uniform. It makes no sense for underwater combat games. We're throwing a ball around that wouldn't really flow through the water like that because that's not how a ball works. With buoyancy and shit. It's just terrible. And guess what? I wasn't really here. I'm a spooky ghost. That's the
spoilers.
What, for a game no one likes or gives a shit about?
Yeah.
Come on.
Anyway, Blitzball. When I first played through Final Fantasy X, right, I got to Blitzball and literally sunk days into it. I thought if this was released as an actual game, if I could go and get fucking I don't know, FIFA Blitzball edition, I would go out and buy it tomorrow. I was that excited by it. The fact that you can go out and recruit characters.
No, incredible. You're not defending it because your defence is shocking enough as it is already. I'm not going to let you carry on.
The voice acting is supposed to be like that.
The voice acting is supposed to be phoned in
and Wack is
completely hackney. No, it's terrible. It is terrible.
And Lulu.
Oh, and let's talk about how fun it is to literally run from point A to B on every single screen. Because that is all it is. It's one long linear path. And everyone bitched and moaned about it when Final Fantasy 13 did it. And it's like, yeah, but guys, they did this before. This was what Final Fantasy 10 did. And then everyone goes, yeah, but 10-2 is really good. And it's like, I don't know. I've not played it. All I know is the armour and weaponry is all based around clothes. But I don't know. I don't know if that's any good or not. But, so I'm just talking about 10. It started the downfall of Final Fantasy. And now people bitch and moan about how 15 and the 7 remake is completely different. It's like, you lot caused it. You were part of the dumbing down process of the RPG-ness. It's terrible. I hate it. Someone said it's prequel levels of quotable. Only kind of. Only kind of. That's it. That's it. That's the only one you need to know about.
There are better ones, but I'm not getting into it.
No.
Final Fantasy X is a good game, and I don't agree with you, but yeah.
It's not a good game. Never mind. Next choice.
Yuna was a bit flaky, I suppose. Riku was cool.
Yeah.
She threw grenades, and she had a glove with spikes on it. That's metal.
No, I'm not having it. You know it's bad as well. You know it's bad.
I liked it. Anyway, okay, I've got to choose another game, and the game that I'm going to choose is going to be... Oh, right. Okay, a game that I hate, but everybody else loves, is... It's going to hurt me to say it, but GTA 3. Grand Theft Auto 3.
Whoa.
Okay?
Whoa.
So
Whoa.
I have just done a complete U-turn because previously, I'm not sure whether it was on this channel or over on Twitch, I said that GTA 3 is possibly one of the better entries in the 3D GTA series. And oh my god, am I mistaken. After playing it on stream, I realised that it controls fucking terribly.
Oh, it's so bad.
Oh my god, the shooting mechanics are just poor. They hadn't figured them out properly yet. At the time, you don't notice because you haven't figured out that there's going to be something better yet. It starts off with this ridiculous motion blur to try and cover up poor graphics that makes it so unplayable that you immediately turn it off as soon as you start the game and go, this is 1,000 times better. What on earth were they doing even putting this in? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. The music is not as good as Vice City, even though I previously remembered it being better.
It's definitely not as good as Vice City. Any of the
The story and gameplay are not as good as 4. They're not.
I like the story in 3. I do disagree with that.
No, I think 4 was better. You're an immigrant.
Street cousin, come play bowling.
Exactly. There was some bits in 4 that were a bit annoying, like having to constantly go bowling, but it's still a good game, and it's better than 3. 3 I like because it was my first experience of GTA in like a big 3D open world, but after playing it for a decent amount of time, I realised that my nostalgia goggles were thick. And it upsets me to say it.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. I know that. It is what it is. I do get it. I mean, I got a real big soft spot for 4. I mean, for 3, sorry. I really do have a big soft spot for 3. It was the first one that was 3D. It was the best game, arguably, ever released at the point it come out. Well, saying that, Ocarina of Time was already out, and I'd rate that higher still. Oof. To this day over that, so maybe it wasn't the best game ever when it came out.
It was close,
but there are a lot of shortcomings in 3. There are a lot of shortcomings in 3 that they rectified really quickly in the following.
Some of the jump in the difficulty of missions is quite a lot as well.
Oh, it gets hard real quick. It gets hard,
and then all of a sudden you have a couple of really easy ones. You're like, well, why did I have to get good to do that one mission? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really, really annoying. It did some things very, very well, but it doesn't hold up today. So a game that is universally loved that I hate, GTA 3.
Okay.
Right.
Big one. I'm going to go for one that's not controversial or shouldn't be on our channel.
Yeah.
And then I've got a real controversial one I'll finish with.
Okay.
So the non-controversial one, I think this is going to get agreement across the board here. League of Legends.
Yeah, damn, I hate League of Legends.
It's so popular, or it's not as popular as it once was, I will say that. But at one point, it was the Fortnite of its day. Everyone fucking played League of Legends, and all my friends tried to get me in on it. They made it sound so good before I'd even watched it or played it. And then I played it, and I was like, this is terrible. This isn't fun in the slightest. It's like, and it takes the worst bits of gaming community into, like, its fan base is so toxic, and the players are so ragey, and the gameplay is just not fun. Like, it's just not good. All you're doing is, it's a click fest and hotkey fest of just, like, it's like doing PvP battles on an MMORPG, which is the worst bit of an MMORPG, is the PvP battles. Yep. Like, it's terrible to have, like, and I don't get what the mass appeal of it was. And then they did the whole microtransactions thing way before it got super popular with skins and things.
Okay, so Moustache Jr. says League of Legends is just Dota dumbed down and with 12-year-olds instead of Russians.
That sounds about right.
That's spot on.
I don't really like Dota either, though, to be fair. But I get that it's got more about it than League of Legends does. Yeah. But honestly, man, I lost so many of my gaming friends to League of Legends. It hurts. Yeah. So many of them gave up every other type of game just to play League of Legends. Yeah,
well, this is the big problem, is that the fact that if you want to be competitive in that game at all, that is the only game you're allowed to play.
Yeah. Yeah, and it sucks.
Yeah, it ruins gaming.
I really don't like
League of Legends does ruin gaming.
Yeah.
I think we previously discussed this on the channel before, but yeah. definitely a hated game.
Oh yeah, massively. So we did go into it in a bit more depth over in that because we dedicated a whole episode to it. But it's just
Top That Game Man says, "What do you think of Raid Shadow Legends?" We don't think anything of Raid Shadow Legends because they're not paying us to say anything about it.
I think more ill about the shills that promote it.
Oh, I think he was almost one of them. Anyway, okay, so a game from me. I think that this is going to get a really backwards and forwards kind of vote here in the chat. But yeah, a game that I hate that everybody else loves. The entire Kingdom Hearts franchise.
Ooh, you've ruffled feathers.
Hopefully I have. Kingdom Hearts is possibly the most miserable game I have ever played. It controls so boaty. It's the boatiest game I've ever played.
And you've played a boat simulator.
And I've played some boat sims, yeah. It's just terrible. It kind of focuses itself entirely on being good just because it's got an association to Disney. And for some people, they're just like, oh, well, Disney characters in a good game, a good RPG.
It sounds appealing.
That sounds amazing.
It sounds appealing.
It's not. It's not. The story is laughable. The jumping, which Silver has just pointed out, especially in Kingdom Hearts 1, is laughably bad. The amount of control you get in the air is ridiculous. You shouldn't be able to go in the air that long. The characters they look stupid, and you think, well, why on earth would they be helping the entire way through? They've even tried to appeal to me by putting Final Fantasy characters in it, knowing that it will appeal to me, and I'm like, well, actually, now that I know that there's an awesome Sephiroth fight at the end, I think I might have to give it a go. And I bought it, and oh my god, I was disgusted. I actually stopped my stream because I was streaming this live to actual people and just went, no, I'm not doing it. I hated it that much. The weapons, as Lion Sigrid points out, why are they fighting with giant keys? It's a key blade, I would say, if I gave a shit.
Final Fantasy has managed to come up with two of the lamest weapons of all time ever. The Gunblade and the Keyblade.
Well, yeah. Well, square,
isn't it?
Yeah,
two of the lamest weapons ever.
But again, that's why I don't like 8, but that's a different story. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It was such a sad game. And the controls didn't feel right. Like, we've recently played the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo. And that plays well. It's nice to flick backwards and forwards between characters and get them to do things. And the programming's good.
Yeah, it feels very nice.
Why didn't Kingdom Hearts do that?
I have no idea. I have such a weird relationship with Kingdom Hearts.
It just plays so poorly, and it actually upsets me.
I never played it.
I still have it over here on this shelf. Okay, so this is my copy of Kingdom Hearts that I bought for the PS4, brand new, played once. Okay, and it literally upsets me to the point of just...
What?
Gone.
I
hate it that much.
Oh my!
That's how much I hate it. That wasn't planned at all.
No.
I literally hate the game that much.
Oh my word! I was going to ask you if I could borrow that.
No, you can't.
Well, no, I can't.
You could have done.
Oh.
But I hate it that much. It upsets me.
Yeah. You could have traded it in, man.
I don't want to trade it in. I don't want to suffer. I don't want anybody else to suffer at the hands of fucking Kingdom Hearts ever.
Oh. You really are channeling Top Hat here.
I am.
He just said, good, let your anger guide you.
I hate it. I hate the game so much.
Oh, man,
And 3! Everyone was so excited about 3. Oh my god, Kingdom Hearts 3. And it was essentially the longest, shittest Disney film ever made.
Yeah. Was it? I don't know.
It was entirely cutscene.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good at all.
Anyway, I think everyone can agree with me. Last game.
I think Mad Scientist. I think it was Top Hat Game Man summed up really well as a last comment. Kingdom Hearts is like Kingdom Hearts is a game that's enjoyed by people who draw Sonic Yaoi.
Yes.
It really people love the art direction more than the game.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh man.
We've got time for one more.
One more, and this one I think is going to ruffle more feathers because apparently, according to the comments, everyone hated Kingdom Hearts. So that people were with you in your sickness.
Good.
I'm going to go for this is quite controversial.
Okay, hold on. Bring it in.
Majora's Mask.
What?
Majora's Mask.
You don't like Majora's Mask?
No.
Why on earth don't you like Majora's Mask?
Why on earth am I playing a fucking Zelda game with a 3-day time limit on it? You've watched people in this channel have probably watched me play many games now, and if they've noticed anything, is that I'm one of them gamers that when in any sort of adventure kind of game and stuff like that, I like to explore every nook and cranny of every room that I go into because I'm obsessed with this idea that I have FOMO really bad. When it comes to gaming, I really have FOMO bad in a game. When I finish it, I'm like, yeah, and someone goes, "Did you find that?" And I go, "What? There was where was that?" And they're like, about 60% into the game. You're like, but I was looking for everything, and that's what Majora's Mask gives me, someone who already suffers from anxiety, even more anxiety because of that stupid countdown. Mm-hmm. I also don't like the fact that they essentially just went, we need a new Zelda game to release because that last one was money bags. What are we going to do? Reuse every single asset that we've already made?
Yep.
Change some colours? It's like, yeah, sounds good. What? What are you talking about? It's every single asset. There's very few new things in that game.
The moon.
Yeah, like there's some assets that are new and all the masks. Half of which don't do anything. No. Like, and the mask trading sequence, let's be honest, was fucking whack in Ocarina of Time. And they went, let's make a whole game about the mask trading sequence. Like, and put a 3-day time limit on it. And make the opening part where you don't even play Link anymore. You're playing Deku Scrub Link. Oh, it's like
Deku Scrub Link is worse Link.
Right, it is, right? It's the worst Link ever. Worse than Toon Link.
Ooh.
Like, it's just so lame. Like,
if you've got a game that is supposed to be so open and the whole idea is to explore it, they shouldn't stick a time limit on it. No, I really don't like it at all, man. Like, why is there a time limit on it? Why have they done any of the design choices? I will give it the fact that it is actually darker and kind of more adult in theme than Ocarina of Time. Commendable. Yeah. That is commendable. But the music's nowhere near as good. Like, nowhere near. Like, it's not even on the same planet of good. Like, it's in a different solar system. And I don't understand that. Yeah. I don't understand how they managed that. Like, Ocarina of Time has some of the most absolutely classic game music in it. Like, of a period. Like, people still know the tunes to this day and will still regularly sort of hum them. And you can tell me one Majora's Mask song, could you? Yeah, see? Nothing. Nothing. That was in
Mario.
It wasn't close.
No, not even close. It's just bad. Like, I just don't like it at all. Some of the dungeons are okay, but on the whole, they're pretty meh. Like,
at least they haven't got a water temple.
They have a watery temple. It's not water.
It's watery.
Yeah,
it's more water adjacent.
Yeah, it's underwater, but it's not proper watery.
Maybe a sand temple.
It's water-ish.
Yeah.
Water-ish. Moist. It's a moist temple. It's a moist temple. That's what it is. Where you're the Zora. Zora Link, who is actually pretty cool. And Goron Link's annoying as shit as well. And the Gorons play a huge part in that one. And the Gorons, other than making one of the best noises ever, are just a bit just a bit like,
yeah.
And I don't get the love it gets. People adore Majora's Mask. They're like Zelda hipsters adore it. They're like, it's the best, and it's like, it's clearly not though, is it? It's like, it's nowhere near the best at all. And they're like, no, it is. It is. If you look at it factually, it is the best. It's like, it's not. It's just not. And you needed the expansion memory card for the N64 to play it.
At least you got to use that.
Yeah, well, if you bought a copy of Donkey Kong 64, you got it for free anyway, because it was the only way to sort out the game-breaking bug. Yeah, they had to give it away with Donkey Kong 64 because they've worked out the only fix for it was to have that plugged in for some reason, and it wouldn't crash. So they went, you can have one. And then they just needed another reason for it, so I think they went, Majora's Mask?
If that happened to Nintendo now, right, they'd go, it's 20 quid.
Yeah.
If you want to play our game, 20 quid.
20 quid, and we'll fix the bug.
Yeah.
I'm really annoyed because we're both agreeing a lot with Top Hat Gaming Man here this evening.
Yeah.
Twilight Princess is the best Zelda of all time.
Yeah, that's what you say.
I'm pretty sure it is. Like, other than, I don't know, Ocarina is Ocarina.
What about 2?
I tell you what, no way. Right? Twilight Princess is the best Zelda game that's not Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
Which is another way of saying it's the second best Zelda game of all time.
It's another way of saying that, you are right.
Majora's Mask is not even... And I think because it came out so close to Ocarina of Time, it just is so overawed by its shadow.
It's too easy to compare it.
Yeah, that's it. And it's just not in the same ballpark.
I agree.
It's not in the same ballpark at all.
Yeah, I mean, Top Hat Gamer saying that he could do Majora's Mask tunes if he was in the studio. Well, you're not.
No, you're not at all.
Yeah, and you're the exception that proves the rule.
But
anyway.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I liked venting.
Yeah, we were going to do a lot more of the comments. We read out a few of our favourite ones as they popped up.
Yeah, we missed
generally
loads
ones that
too.
agree to us, but we missed a load of good ones as well. So we do apologise for that. But if you would like your opinions heard and you want us to do another one of these, put your opinions in the comment section below. If you're watching this retrospectively, that's what we'd like you to do. We'd like to thank you for being a part of this stream. We are about to head over to twitch.tv/Top Hat Chat, where we are going to be playing some games. We're not sure which ones yet, but we do this every weekend. We will be live over on Twitch every Saturday, 9 PM UK time, or just after. You can find us at all the usual places. We are over on Instagram. Just search for Top Hat Chat. We also have our own individual pages as well. You can find us on Twitter. Our Twitter handles are currently at the bottom of the screen, just down there. You can find us on Patreon. We do have a Patreon account. Just search for Top Hat Chat on Patreon. I can't remember the thing for it, but we do have one. Have I missed anything?
No, I think you've hit everything nice. Did we need to thank our Patreon?
Yeah, we will. We'll thank our current patrons once again. That is Seabass the Great, Andy Aldrich, Vladis, Mark Bell, Tom Elliott, and Vantonius. Thank you to all of you. Your contribution to this channel is greatly appreciated and necessary.
Come over, join us on Twitch, because we don't know what we're going to play, so we need some help.
Thank you for being a part of the stream, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Why'd you do that? I hate that.
Call me out.
What was it from?
It's from Sooty, you fucking Philistine.